Hi, I'm Amanda and I run the Mums, Bums and Tums Podcast, which is a podcast all about mum life and everything else that comes with it. And today we've got with us Lindsay, so if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi. Yes, I'm Lindsay, 30 years young and a mum to one very little wild whirlwind. Came across Amanda, March time.
Yeah.
I think it was because I'd gone for a walk around Birkenhead Park with a friend I used to gym with before being a mum and before being pregnant. And she'd discussed about training postpartum and I was like, I'm really struggling with getting back in the gym. And she was like, have you not heard of this? And I was like, no, I haven't. Slide straight into the DMs. Hi, I'm Lindsay. Let me in, please.
Please.
Here's Esther.
Take my baby, let me work out.
Take me, baby, let me train. And yeah, the rest is history.
Here we are.
Revolutionary. Like what you do is just...
I'm here for the mums. I'm here for the mums.
Yeah, it just means so much to get back into the gym.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard.
You're massively into fitness, aren't you?
Oh, massively. I mean, I lost in kilos around 36, 37 kilos.
Oh my goodness.
To conceive Esther.
That's incredible.
Crazy. Yeah, I can't really...
Is that what pushed you into losing so that you could conceive?
Yeah, so I decided to come off the pill during COVID, and me and my partner were kind of getting ready to, expand our family, and it just wasn't happening. And going to the doctors, back and forth as you do, and they were telling me that, I might need to potentially get help or have blood tests or scans, but they weren't willing to do anything until my BMI was a lot lower than what it was. So I tried, the good old shakes and, those fad diets and wasn't budging. And after COVID, obviously COVID did a hell of a lot of things to different people. I actually got into walking during COVID, that free time that you're allowed to go out and get some fresh air without people being around. Being told off. You're 30 minutes per day. I made good use of that and did some walks around the Wirral, did the Wirral Way, got 40,000 steps every week, just doing one big long steps, and it just wasn't enough. So I came across the gym and came across a PT who was incredible in female transformations.
Amazing.
And started August 2020 and never looked back. And here we are now down 30, postpartum, I'm down maybe 31, 2 kilos, but went down to 37 kilos loss. And
amazing.
About 5.5 stone. And then found out I was pregnant.
Wow, when you put it in stone, that's mental.
Yeah, 5.5 stone. And it's weird looking back at the pictures.
Like a full-grown child.
Yeah, you just don't realise how big I used to be.
You don't. When you're in that moment, you don't.
No.
And that's why pictures are so good.
And I was getting into a new job, moving down here from, obviously you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not local. So moving down here and getting a new job, I like a new wardrobe, and I just wasn't happy with the size of the clothes that I was buying, and nothing was, for my age, was suitable in the sizes that you go shopping for. And I just had to do something about it. And I found the gym, I got the bug really hard.
Good.
So much.
Could have worse bugs.
Well, absolutely. And I just focused on getting really shreddy and did photo shoots. I did a couple of photo shoots of fitness ones.
Did your PT push you into that? A bit more?
No, actually, I think...
Because would you have done that?
No, I think he was quite surprised when I said that. That was kind of my next goal, because I'd always set short-term goals for myself because I think they're probably more manageable and achievable.
Yeah.
And once I got those, the first one, for example, was something silly I'd get a smartwatch because I wasn't able to track my steps on the watch that I had. So, the first goal, get a smartwatch. Second goal, go shopping or whatever. And then it got to the point where I was running out. And again, you scroll on Instagram, the good old doom scroll, and I came across a photographer in just outside Manchester, Stockport, and messaged him and was like, I'm up for it if you are. I mean, I'm not the most shreddiest person that you've taken photos of, but I want to
showcase yourself.
Absolutely, I want to go and show my achievements in losing so much weight. And I was actually his first person taking photos in his new studio that he just got, so that was a momentous occasion for him and me. And then I went back literally 7 months later and did another one because I'd lost another bit of weight and had a surgery in between. And I just felt that those are pictures that I can keep forever, knowing that that was me. And that was a time in my life where I was, really fit. I was, obviously body fat was very low and it's not maintainable as a female. But I was in a very, very good shape, and that's kind of motivation for me now to keep it going. I mean, I don't ever believe that I'll probably be back that way after.
You'll never have that body because that was pre-baby body, but you could still look absolutely incredible, but your body will look different.
Eventually.
That's what I've had to come to terms with. But you can still look as incredible as you did then. But your body, I think, now is more incredible because of what it's been through.
Oh, absolutely. And it has been through a lot. I'm sorry, body, but you've done it.
Yeah, thanks for keeping it.
Thank you, but we've done it. Yeah.
No, that's amazing.
What a journey.
It's like an amazing thing to achieve, though.
Yeah, and like I got straight back into the gym after I had a surgery as well. So among the tests of obviously being able to try and conceive and things, they found out I had a problem with my liver, which were when in further diagnosis and tests and things, it was actually my gallbladder. So I had my gallbladder removed. It would have been May 2022. So it was pulled out of my belly button.
Oh.
Yeah. And apparently it goes pop as well when it comes out.
That sounds absolutely vile.
Yeah, and it was literally just a day surgery, so I was in and out in the day.
What's the recovery meant to be?
I don't know. It was keyhole, so it's probably not as
not as bad as
it could have been. And then I got pregnant literally a few months later. So, so yeah, it was whether that was something to do with it.
Maybe it was. Your body was a bit like, no, we're not ready because we need to get rid of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in hormonal imbalances, isn't it? And you just never know.
Your body's so clever
inside. So clever, but it's so difficult at the same time.
Yeah, tell me about it. So what type of training did you start doing? Because you were the PT. Mm-hmm. Had you trained before you went to them?
Never stepped in a gym. Never,
Sometimes they're the best type of clients because you haven't had anyone show them how to do stuff.
Yeah, I tried to do classes. When I used to live in the Lake District, I tried to do a class, but because the Lake District and how it is, it was like a 40-minute drive to even get to the closest gym because you saw more cows than people. And then to do the class, I mean, I probably went a bit too hard and I think it scared me and put me off a little bit. But luckily in the school that I was working in at the time, I had a good friend of mine, a colleague who would run a boot camp for teachers on a morning. So I used to go and do that. I mean, it was only 20, 30 minutes just to get the happy endorphins. I mean, you needed them with students.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
But then it just kind of just all went off and didn't really come back, and then obviously found the gym down the Wirral, and the bug just hit
you hard.
Yeah, and I think it was mostly weight training that I focused on.
It was a good gym as well though, wasn't it? Which massively helps the gym you're in.
Oh, absolutely. Like it wasn't even just the fact of the range of equipment, but I got to be in a routine where I was in at the same time every day, and you familiarise yourself with other people and you just get to know
staff
people
as well.
And when I started my separate Instagram page that focused just on my weight loss and my fitness, they got to follow me. So like they kind of knew me, but I didn't know them.
It's that support, isn't it? It's really nice. It means so much to have. For you to start that fitness page is like such a vulnerable thing.
I started it and it was public. Well, it was private, just me and my PT, because I wanted to do it more as like a blog of my
just
journey.
To keep you accountable as well.
Yeah, and then
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and then he mentioned, your journey and what you've been through would really help a lot of people, and I was like, and then I put it public, and it just kind of like really kicked off. Like I've even had people like in work go like, "Isn't this you?" And I'm like, yes. Because then obviously my PT was able to share my transformations and compare the both photos, and people were able to put me to that picture and be like, that is me. And then I'm like,
it's amazing. What you both did, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it is really incredible.
I mean, I did manage to
hard work.
I know I did manage to go to the gym this week for the first time in like months.
Yeah.
Only because the baby slept well for once.
I did see that. You were 5 a.m. like me, weren't you?
5 a.m.
I was so proud.
Yeah, literally.
How long did it take you to get there as well?
About 30 minutes.
See, I'm a 10 minute down the road, 5 a.m. So I don't know if I've got 30 minutes in me.
Yeah, but it's in the middle of my house and work, and it means that I can
of course.
Go there, get a session done. They obviously have showers. I can get ready, and then it's 10 minutes to work. So it's not out my way. I mean, it was at my way during maternity leave because obviously I'm not going to work, so I'd have to travel there to come back.
Yeah.
But in all honesty...
Yeah, it's adding an hour on, isn't it, if you go there and back?
Yeah, and obviously with the lack of childcare, that extra travel journey just wasn't...
Kills you.
Wasn't a thing. It wasn't able to be done. And I had real problems with leaving her when she was much younger. Like, I just needed to be near her all the time because I wanted her because I wanted her so much, and obviously we'd gone a long time to try and have her. As soon as she was here, it was like my hands on. Like, I even really struggled to give her to her dad because
it's hard.
It is. It's so hard because like she was my precious little gem, and
you're not saying they can't do it, but you're a bit like me. I think that I just love to have the control.
Well, yeah.
And if something's not done my way, I'm a bit like...
Yeah, control freak.
And I wish I wasn't like that, but I am. That's just who I am.
Yeah, same. And I feel that I am such a control freak. And now, obviously having the postnatal depression and going through all the therapies, and I'm high functioning, which is like, you know, you're 100 tabs up and at any one time, and you've got 1,000 arms that you need to grow to
do everything you want.
Yeah. So it does make sense now that I've learned more about myself, and now that I've been able to kind of find my tread in motherhood, because it's not what I expected by any means. It's so
I don't think anybody thinks it's what they expect it's going to be.
And I thought I was clued up because I had a brother when I was 16, so I was kind of like his second mum. So I thought that I was clued up when actually I really wasn't.
No,
really wasn't.
It's hard, isn't it?
So hard. No one prepared me for
everything that comes with it.
The kick in the butt that comes with a child.
Yeah,
and I was blessed with a beautiful pregnancy. I loved being pregnant, loved the feeling. I was probably the most hormonally leveled whilst pregnant. Like, even Craig even says like he loved me pregnant because I was
let's get you pregnant
because I was there was no emotional imbalances, there was no, like, I was just calm. And
that's mad, that isn't it? It's like the opposite of what you'd think.
Yeah, it was absolutely bliss. And then I had a very long labour, very quick delivery, and then from then she's just been throwing us curveballs after curveballs.
That's what they do. It's their fun.
Yeah, so
it's what they're good at.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it stops either, from what I've heard.
Someone said to me, because I was like, oh, 2's hard, and she went, 3's harder. Hang on, actually, it doesn't get better till the 7. And I was like, pardon, I haven't got another 5 years in me. She's 3 now, so we've only got 4 to go.
I mean, yeah, I'm following your journey. Yeah. I've got to come because
you know what? It's hard, but it's also gets easier because I know how to deal with it better, and she can now communicate with me.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
So, like, when she's having a tantrum, I can stop her and be like, right, what is the reason you are crying? If there's a reason, this sounds really mean. If there's a reason, you can carry on crying. If there's no reason, stop crying. Yeah. Because I think she's going to be an actress because she's very good at putting the waterworks on.
I think it's just females, because Esther's the exact same. Like, she will check if anyone's seen her fall over and then decide whether she's going to make a scene or not.
That's what my nan said.
Girl.
My nan went, have you ever watched it? She went, I've been watching it while you're all like running around her. She said, she reacts because she knows you're all going to react to her reacting. And I'm onto it. I'm like, yeah, I know, Nan, but everybody else, like, Molly coddles her a bit sometimes. And I'm like, she's not thick.
And I think she's got her nursery key workers wrapped around her
absolutely
tiny fingers. Yeah. Tiny fingers. And she comes,
that's my girl.
She comes home to me and I'm like, oh, you're not fooling me.
No, but it is, yeah, she's an angel in nursery. Like, she wouldn't say, on preschool, she wouldn't say bad words. It comes home. Like, she walks out the school gate and she's like, ah!
Yeah, it's like,
where's me treat? And I'm like, well, you've been good.
Like sass.
Yeah. Funny, isn't it?
I mean, who did
that was probably me.
From, I was going to say.
It's my karma from whatever I did to my mother. I apologise.
You know what? My mum said the same thing. She was the only person that guessed that I was having a girl, and she was like, Lindsay, it's going to be karma that you are going to be a girl, Mum, because you weren't particularly the best and perfect daughter.
No.
So, karma will give you a daughter to have just the same run-ins.
Well, when I was younger and I used to do dancing, so we used to have like perfect hair, and I would sit while my mum did my hair and cry on purpose to make her feel bad.
Did you have that blue eyeshadow as well?
Blue and pink we had.
Yeah, really heavy makeup.
Yeah.
And a full tub of hairspray.
Yeah.
So that your hair wouldn't move for a week.
Yeah, but she, like, whenever she used to do my hair, It'd kill. It would kill.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd put on the drama, shall we say, and I'd vamp it up and make her feel really bad. And Nyla does the exact same to me. And now I'm like, oh my God, my mum, how did she cope? Because there was 3 of us. We were 3 girls. We are 3 girls.
Oh.
So imagine 3 teenage girls in one house. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I know.
I know Craig's already said that he's probably going to need a holiday home when she enters teenage years because girls apparently sync up as well. So if it's me if it's me and her, then I think Craig's going to need a holiday home a week, a month.
Yeah, get me out of here. It's that time. I need to go.
Yeah, wherever he'll go, he'll take a bag for a week.
Bless. So how have you found working out? Has it changed since you've had her? Like, do you find it really different?
I mean, obviously, I went back to the PT for when I could after having Esther, and then obviously childcare became a massive issue.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to have that flexibility.
Your mum's in the lake still, isn't she?
Mum's in the northeast.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So childcare was a bit of an issue, and then sod's law. Whenever I'd planned to either go in on a night time or early morning, Esther would have had a bad night. And then because she was breastfed, Craig couldn't do much. Although he would have obviously would have loved to and tried, but obviously if she needed boob, she needed boob. So that was that. So finding you, I think, has changed my training. Yes, because obviously it's much more cardio based. It's kind of doing as much as you can.
A little time.
Yeah, a little time, and it does get your heart going. I think much more than like strength weightlifting. But then when I went into the gym on Monday, I kind of walked in and I was like, can't quite remember what to do.
Yeah, plus it's really annoying when you can't lift what you used to.
Do you know what? I hadn't kept track of my numbers. So they were on an app and that has since been archived. So although I can see the workouts, I can't see what weights.
Okay,
I think that helps. I think that's done me good because I was just retrialing everything. So I just did like a full body.
Yeah, ease yourself in.
And I made note of what weights I was doing. Whether they go up or not, I'm not really bothered. My goal at the minute is not to, have the abs back anytime soon. It's just to keep myself moving, get those endorphins, feel happier in myself, and more the chemical imbalances in the brain.
Sorting them out, yeah.
Then even thinking about abs, like I'm not bothered about abs anymore because
I want abs.
Yeah,
I want burgers.
My body has housed a child, and like I did have quite good breasts before pregnancy. I mean, now they're shriveled little prunes. Like especially now that we've
that's the breastfeeding.
Yeah, but I'm just not bothered anymore. Like it just doesn't faze me.
Motherhood does change. Yeah,
I'm just not. I mean, I would love to still be fit, and I think it's really good for her to see me do that because I think it's.
Well, look at her with her weight now herself.
Literally went into a little playpen and got those dumbbells, and I was like, oh. Got off my own heart. Snap, Amanda.
Yeah, need to see it. But that is so important for her to see.
Yeah.
And to see you appreciating and loving your body. Because I'm sure there was a long time that you didn't.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want her to ever see that version of you.
No.
Because I saw a post and it was like, your daughter is going to be told so much that she looks like you.
Yeah.
Don't tear yourself down. Because then she'll think, oh, well, I must be all them things that mum talks badly about herself.
I think everything's changed now as well because, like, I know schools these days, most of them have gyms in them and they do have, like, rather than a PE class where you go and do rounders or, laps of the field, that they get into a gym environment. I think that's so good because I didn't have that. So I would have walked into a gym and not had an absolute clue. And obviously you can YouTube stuff and you can Instagram people, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same. It's not some things on Instagram aren't real life anyway. So
no, most of the exercise you see on Instagram is for views.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that in the gym, you're not going to get the progress that you think you're going to get.
Or you get these people who are like, come and coach with me, I'll send you an online thing. And it's probably the same program that they send to everybody just to get a bit of money. And it's not personalised and it's not, adaptable for the level of what you're at and where you are and what your goals are. Because I know from my experience losing the weight, my training changed depending on what stage I was at, whether I was at the fat loss stage or the muscle gaining phase.
That's the good thing about having the PT is that they are seeing it in front of them. Yeah. And they can adapt it. That's what they're trained for.
And the lessons that I've learned are just completely invaluable. Like I had no idea about like food or fuel in my body and the calories.
We're not taught it in school.
Absolutely not. And I can remember when I got my freedom of, a driving license and college and not having to, being in school all that time because you had freeze, I would go out and like eat and eat. But I was also dancing, so I lost obviously a lot of calories burning that I didn't realise. So when I'd stopped dancing when I moved to uni, and obviously uni comes with, you know, the drink and
everything else,
and the other outings, it catches up on you, and then the next thing you know, I'm like...
Yeah, because your body's just been used to, like, I was the same. I danced like 6 days a week and I would eat so much rubbish. Just bring that a little bit closer to you, please. I would eat so much rubbish, and then it didn't matter because I was literally dancing it off.
Yeah, you'd burn it off like that same night, and you just don't learn.
And then I went to uni and went from 6 days of dance to 6 hours of dance a week. And I was like, difference. I can't cope with this.
So, what did you do at uni?
Dance.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which uni did you go to?
Roehampton in London.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't, if I got to do it again, I wouldn't do it for like the course side because it wasn't my type of dance. I would have gone to a college.
Yeah.
But for the people I met, they were incredible and I had the best time. And
in London, you know, you could have had like massive breaks or you know, head hunches and whatever.
It was more like a contemporary side.
Right.
And I was a very like ballet, tap, classical type of side. So
I've done a few shows in London.
Have you?
Yeah, I used to, my dance school that I used to use back in my hometown, we used to go and do like not like a benefit dance, but like we used to just showcase some of our routines. So we used to go to Her Majesty's Theatre.
Amazing.
Every like August, I think it was, and do like a showcase of different schools across the country coming together and providing that. And there used to always be a form of royalty in the theatre. I mean, it wasn't like the actual queen,
the king,
it wasn't.
Well, no, we had another king.
Yeah, it wasn't like the prince or anyone like direct front line, but there was some kind of bloodline royalty.
Sisters Aunt's jog or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that was that's
amazing.
I used to love London. I used to go there yearly, do a dance performance myself, and then go and watch a musical. Yeah, you can't go to London without watching a show.
No, I need to go down and watch.
I actually went, and that was my baby moon, going to London. Yeah, I was 34 weeks pregnant, and we did London in a day. We did it in a day. We went to go and see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, both parts in one day, and yeah, it was a slog, but we did it. It's what I wanted to do for some reason, but
yeah, that's mad. 34 weeks, I wanted to sit on the couch.
Do you know what? I was actually really active. Like, I'm very, very blessed that I was able to keep so active that I did. I mean, I was still weight training until I was 38 weeks pregnant.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and then 38 weeks in one day, I lost my mucus plug, and it was advised from my PT at the time, not to obviously weight lift because
you just got to be so careful.
Yeah,
and once it's gone.
I mean, Sod's Law, she didn't come until 2.5 weeks later, but so those 2.5 weeks, I was tapping my fingers, being like, come on.
Yeah, you have got to be so careful though, and it's just not worth, if anything was to go wrong, you'd never have forgiven yourself. Yeah. When I was pregnant with Nyla, I just didn't want to work out. It was lockdown. Couldn't go to the gym. Yeah. Didn't want to work out at home. Tried a few, but because I think it was the second lockdown.
God, there were so many.
So I'd actually not trained properly for ages. I'd done home workouts a little bit, but it was all like body stuff. It didn't have heavy weights. So then when I was pregnant and I went to do a workout, I was so unfit. I think I did a video and posted it. And there was an outtakes video of me just being like, and like couldn't breathe and didn't realise how unfit I was.
I don't think it's that, but I think when you're pregnant, the whole shift of training has to change because there's certain positions that you can't do, certain like backloading exercises you can't do. And apart from obviously Craig finding out that I was pregnant, the first public person was actually my PT because I'd found out that I was pregnant like 4:00 on a Wednesday morning and my PT was 6:00 the Wednesday morning. So I'd gone in and done my warm up.
Did you tell Craig first?
Yeah, Craig was with me. Yeah, Craig was with me when we took the test, and then I went in and did a warm up on the bike, and my PT came out of like the staff room, and I just had this like Cheshire cat smile on my face, and he was like, "What's the matter with you?
It's Wednesday, 6 a.m. Why are you so happy?"
Yeah, and I just kind of looked at him, and he went, "You tell me something?" And Craig came over because he was in the gym as well. He'd came over, and like we both kind of looked at him and smiled, and I was like, "I've got something to tell you," and he was like, No, and I was like, yeah, it's like I literally just found out this morning I'm only like 2 weeks pregnant.
You've got to tell him though, yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, to be fair, that whole session I was scared of doing anything. But my PT just kept on saying to me, look, it's like the size of a poppy seed. They're not going to feel anything at the minute.
Plus your body's used to it. If your body wasn't used to it, obviously
massive shock to the system. Yeah. And I was so grateful to be able to have the advice of him and his partner is prenatally and postnatally trained.
Amazing.
So I got a lot of advice. And just trying to keep...
makes such a difference.
It does. I mean, and although I found out I was pregnant really, really early and I thought it was going to be a long slog, it wasn't. And it was good to keep that routine. And I mean, people in the gym were like, do you not need to stop? And I was like, nah.
That's an old-fashioned way of thinking of it.
Yeah, I'm all right.
If your body's used to it, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing anything to put me.
I used to think it like years and years ago before. Well, everybody did, didn't they? And you just think, oh, that's so dangerous. But you know what? It's like, you know your body. You know, obviously there's certain things we won't do, like hip thrusts with a big bump.
Yeah.
But you know, you're not disabled.
No.
You are
and I
pregnant.
think it did help with like labour and also the recovery
massively.
Afterwards because...
Well, you've still got all that muscle.
Yeah, muscle memory. Muscle memory. Thank the Lord for muscle memory. I mean, it hasn't remembered where it needed to in the glutes, but I mean, it's remembered everywhere else.
No, do you know what? That's breastfeeding.
I've got a real bad mum bum. Like, I just feel like I've got two pancakes.
I used to like pride myself on my bum pre-Nyla, and then
Same.
I lost it a bit in pregnancy because obviously you're carrying all your weight in your front. So your glutes aren't activated most of the time. Then breastfeeding. A lot of the time as well, I found I was standing with my back arched. I used to rock it to sleep. So when I stopped breastfeeding, I thought, my mum's going to come back because all my muscle went. So I look back now and I was so slim, but I hated my body because there was no there was no shape to it at all.
Yeah.
And then I used to rock it to sleep. And then I thought, hang on, I'm rocking it and I'm arched. So one, my abs are extended. I found out myself I had an ab separation. Like I just found out one day in the gym. I had no bum. As soon as I stopped rocking it and started lifting, I was lifting heavy in the gym. It started to come back. I'm still like, trying to grow it to what it was. But we're getting there.
I know I need to really, I'm on mission gluteus maximus at the minute because I just feel as if I've just lost.
It's so hard.
My
quads are growing quicker than my glutes.
I know,
and it's not what I want. I've never had that issue. And I mean, luckily I've still got definition on the torso, which I'm really, really grateful for. But I had that during pregnancy. It was really weird. Like you could see my obliques during pregnancy. Oh, really?
I had quite a weird shaped bump, especially towards the end, where my obliques were really obvious. And then obviously she would have been like almost like back out, and then her bum was sticking out almost.
Yeah.
It was a really weird upfront bump that I had with her. But now, because she's on like the lowest setting of the cot, putting her down on a night time when she's dead weight and my days, absolute killer. I mean, luckily she doesn't require much rocking these days, which I'm really, really grateful for. But
it's a military mission though, that putting them to sleep without waking them.
I mean, to be fair, once she's gone, she is probably gone. And you do the arm test where you do the 1, 2, 3 and she flops. But it's when she wants carrying, when she's just can't bothered walking anymore because she's still deciding whether she wants to walk.
As well, because they just pull themselves back and you're like, Nala does it and she wants to carry to school, and then she's like looking around for all her friends, and I'm like, I will put you down if you don't stay still because my back can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, they just don't understand, do they?
No.
They just think that everything's a merry-go-round and we're a fairground.
It's their life, we're living in it. But yeah, after I had it, I think I was doing abs one day and I was just feeling, and I could put my fingers in between my abs, and I was like, I don't think that's normal. I was sat in the gym like Googling it, and it was ab separation. Luckily, it was only minor, and you can like go to people for it. And I thought, no, I'm going to fix this, and I had to get rid of it myself just by working my abs really hard.
So could you not visibly see it? Like,
no. So it wasn't like a dome, and it was really, really I also had a layer of fat over the top. You couldn't see through it, but I could fully, like, if I was like, say I was doing a crunch and it was hollowed, I could put my fingers in between my abs.
Wow. Ooh.
I know. So I've fixed that, thankfully.
No surgery required?
A lot of hard work in the gym, a lot of ab work. So now people are always like, oh, how can you be offered doing abs? I do abs 5 times a week. I do abs after every single workout.
Well, if you've had, obviously, that...
I've never had stronger abs.
Yeah.
So it's worked. It's worth it. And I am a massive advocate for doing abs every
And do you
session.
reckon that would help you if and when you have a number 2?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd keep abs up throughout, because I think it's massively because it didn't work out throughout pregnancy. That's why, obviously. But I can't. The next baby we have, hopefully, if we get to have one, I'm going to train throughout. I can't wait to rock up to the gym pregnant. I am excited
to be
for
fair,
the day.
I loved it. There was a time where I'd done like a transition video where we'd picked, I think it was like lateral raises we decided to do, and we did it every week of pregnancy. So obviously
I love that.
In the same position in the gym, under the same light, same bench, same weight, and obviously you could see my bump growing. And there was a time where I was like, I don't quite look pregnant, I just look really bloated, so I'm not going to take my top off just yet. And then obviously as the bump became more bumpier, I was like, I had my maternity leggings on up to like Simon Cowell's, up to my boobs, and I was just like, I'm not wearing a top anymore. So I had like a sports vest on. I had my maternity gym leggings on, and I was just rocking that bump, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So much so that my first outing after pregnancy, I felt really lost.
Yeah.
Because it was just me, and it hadn't been just me for like 10 months. Going to, I think I went to Tesco, and I was like, it took me about 20 minutes to go in without crying. And then when I got in, I just felt like everyone was looking at me because I didn't have...
Internally, you're overthinking.
Because I just felt so alone. But I absolutely loved going to the gym pregnant. And I think there's a lot more out there now where it's not... people don't look at you and just think, oh my God, she's pregnant, what's she doing in the gym? I think it's completely acceptable. And to be fair, I'm grateful that the time that I was pregnant, there was other people in other stages of pregnancy around the same time I was. So I wasn't just the only pregnant female.
Probably helped that you had the PT whose partner was trained in that. Yeah. So he was pushing you as well to be like, to do the best for you and the baby. Yeah, and I was open and honest on Instagram as well. So if people were to, follow my story or follow my journey or even come to find me through my PT's page or whatever, they were able to kind of know that, I am being taken good care of and I am adapting my... You're always going to have them people who will think, oh, what are you doing to your baby? Like, you're hurting it, You're really not. No. Like, obviously you could do, there's certain exercises that you should probably steer clear of, but you will know best. I mean, if they saw me bouncing on that yoga ball towards the end of pregnancy, that's... That was worse than anything I did in the gym. Yeah, that would have been way worse. No. When I was like, get this baby out of me. Yeah, I hated that. Hated that ball at the end. It's just the unknowing of when they're going to come, when, like, can you... Oh... The unknowing, I'd like to just be like, right, this day, especially when my due date had been and gone, I'm like, come on. Yes, we were only 3 days over. Went into, my waters broke 3 days over, but every day, I think, for the last 2 weeks before she came, I Googled, is this a blood show? Is this the mucus plug? Am I going into labour? And every time it was no. And then the one time it actually happened, I thought, it's probably fake then, isn't it? I got 2 cats as well, and then when they were being overly clingy, I was thinking, oh, is this the day? Never happened. No. No, they're just obsessed with you. Yeah, they were just being annoying because I was at home all the time, which is a rarity. Get out our space. That's good though. So you enjoying coming to classes? Yeah, absolutely love it. Good. Absolutely love it. Esther loves it. Oh, she does. I'm so sorry. She just runs wild these days. But it's weird to think that... You never need to apologise to me for that. I love it. It's weird to think that when she first came and she couldn't even sit up, and now she's literally running wild. We love it. Yeah. I mean, she loves that. She loves the wall balls. Med balls, and she loves that mat, and the amount of times that I just think, oh, she's going to fling herself off that. But I thought, do you know what? Learn. You'll learn. It's like a mini soft play. What I need is a soft play in there. Get more busy. Yeah. And like the sled push. Yeah. I need to come up with some sort of contraption for that because we need all the kids on it. They just absolutely love it. They keep them busy love it, for the class. I think they just like to see the pain and sweat that we go under, to be honest, because they thoroughly enjoy it, especially when you see the mums that have got the kids on the shoulders while they're doing squats or whatever, and the kids are just living the best life. Yeah. And the mum's just like, oh, bloody hell, you're so heavy on my shoulders. Yeah, but thinking back like 5-10 years ago, you'd never imagine kids in a gym with the mums. No. Like that would just never have been thought of. So I mean, I would have loved to have been able to just, even when Esther was younger and, not moving around, just having the car seat in the corner while I train. Obviously it's massive health and safety. So to have that space that's
safe and appropriate upstairs is just amazing.
It's important as well for the mums
Revolutionary.
to have.
The amount of times that I've Googled, like, training with a baby and, you know, where can I do it? And, like, it was just...
Yeah.
So lucky to have come across you by coincidence of a conversation with a friend who was also, you know, was training postpartum. And it's just great to have that opportunity, and there should be more.
There definitely should be more.
Because
Absolutely.
It's a massive barrier.
Here for mums being able to, you know, get back into that fitness.
Yeah, that default
such a big
parent.
part.
Yeah.
You need it. After you become a mum, you are a different person.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't until Nala was 2 that I could even go to the gym on my own.
Yeah.
Because she just wasn't a good sleeper. And that's why I started class, because I thought, oh, there's people who are the same as me who need to get their body moving. And I lost all aspect of doing it for my aesthetics. And it was basically to mentally get me through that day.
Yeah, and seeing other people who are in the same, like, phase. I know phases come and go, but seeing people in
the depths of it,
the depth of it, even seeing parents, especially the ones who are coming in with newborns now, and obviously you can relate to them because you've been in that phase, and then they want to speak to you because they want to know what's coming or what to expect. And it's just nice to have a mutual love of fitness and just moving your body, as well as having obviously the mutual experience of having a baby or a child or two, and knowing that you are not alone, and you've got people who you can chat things with and who are in the same boat and who are going in and out of phases the same as you are. And, you know, if you've got any concerns, there's been plenty of times where I've been like, I said to you about Esther's hand hand flapping not so long ago. You know, I was worried about this because it was mentioned by, you know, family members, and, you know, you'd said, Nala did it.
Showed you videos.
Yeah, showed me videos. And I was like, oh my God,
go through. And if it's not a phase you go through and there is an underlying issue, it's not as bad as you're probably expecting it to be.
Yeah, but obviously once the seed was planted, it just became into an oak tree.
As a mother, you just like, you fixate on it.
Yeah.
And then you think of all the bad things that could possibly come in your child's future and all the things that could hold them back. And you want the best for them.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need that person to be like, look, if you had a wobble, it's normal.
Yeah.
But that's why that support system is so important. And that's why I think mum classes are important, because if you go to a gym and it's full of 18-year-olds with incredible bodies who like can go to the gym 5 times a week and eat what they want still. And you need somebody who's going through the same issue, and you might have a bit of wobble, and, you know, it doesn't matter.
The amount of times I've cried to you, I'm so sorry. But the amount of times that I've just sat and cried and just been like, well, I'm here. But
it's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And it's so important, because as a mum, sometimes you can feel so alone. Like you could be surrounded by people and still feel alone.
Absolutely.
And it's so important to have a support system that understands you.
It absolutely takes a village. Absolutely takes a village.
Yeah.
And
you'll find as well, the people who support you the most aren't always the people that you thought would, like your closest to you.
Yeah.
I've found some of the most incredible friends since having Nala.
Agreed.
Like, incredible people.
But then on the back end of that, I've also apologised to people who are...
You went... Yeah.
When I didn't understand the phase of their life as well. So, like, my best friend who had a little boy 2019, I'd be messaging her, been like, you know, I'm so sorry to not message you back straight away. You know, Esther's not been sleeping, or she's not been very well. And she's like, I get it. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that I didn't get it when you had your little boy.
You don't understand it?
No, you don't. And until you are, I know people can say, you know, they don't sleep, or, you know, they're ill or whatever, but until you actually witness it and have it firsthand, you really don't get it.
No.
So I've just been so apologetic with people who have been in this era prior to me, and I didn't understand, because now luckily they understand because I'm now new to it.
But at least you're aware of that, and you are like sorry for it.
Yeah.
So that's all you can be.
I'm sorry to have to like pest you to come and meet me. I didn't realise, you know, how hard it is with the baby. I'll come to you next time, or you know. So it's just been like
it's
friends.
mad.
Yeah. Friends. Who would live without them? And some of them, obviously, they come and go. Some of them don't understand our era now, but like you say, I've made new friends, mum friends. And friends that I've met even in your class that I now speak to on WhatsApp and Instagram and stuff, and we all keep in touch. And there'll be people who will be entering phases soon that I would absolutely advocate joining your class and
that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, because I think it's revolutionary, and I do think that it does need to be mainstream because there's just not enough facility. And I know obviously with weights and health and safety and insurance things, it can be hard. But we're in a society now where exercise is promoted, especially more so with females now. Obviously, you've got your female footballers and you've got world, Olympics and stuff. And there's a lot of female advocates of exercising. And, there's celebrities that go back after having a baby, and we're just the average Joe, and we want to be able to go back after a baby as well. So I think having that environment where you can has just been amazing, and I wish I'd found you sooner.
I wish I'd started it sooner, but obviously until I was in the depth of it, you don't know.
No,
like I had no idea how hard it would be. I was like, I'll get back to the gym after Nyla. What a shock that was!
What a massive shock!
She had to come
morally humbled.
I've never been more humbled than from the day I become a mother onwards.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the phase where Esther will start like doing the exercises with me properly.
You know what? It's so amazing. So like I film at online bootcamp from home, and I have done since Nyla was 7 or 8 months, and we do it in exactly the same spot. I have my tripod up, and for her first Christmas I bought her in Aldi, they had these wooden, it was a social media set, but it had a tripod with a camera and an iPad, and we went to the caravan once and we took it with us, and she went, Mummy, let's set up a boot camp. And she set a thing up and she started doing the exercises in front of it, and I was like, something I'm doing is right, because she's loving it. So in nursery they have on a Thursday afternoon when she's in, they do PE. She calls it PT. So I was talking to a key worker about it, and I said, why didn't you get her up at the front and get her to teach? And she did.
Because she'll know exactly what to do. So
she got up to the front and she was doing like all the workout from Mum's Tums. So she had them doing squats, lunges, press-ups, star jumps, and she was stood at the front, and she was so happy. And I thought, you know what? I couldn't ask for anything more. She might be like absolutely wild and love to move 24/7, but I'd rather that.
It's not even like you've taught it either. It's the fact that she's been in the environment.
She's grown up in it.
Yeah, and
she used to be in this gym with me 4 days a week.
Yeah.
So only like a couple of hours at a time, but she was constantly around people working out.
Yeah.
I remember once she counted back, I think she was only 1, and she counted backwards from 8. And I went, how on earth does she know how to count back from 8?
Sets of 8.
Yeah. It's from me being like, saying you've only got 8 squats left, 7. And I was like, wow, she's literally just sucked all the information into her brain.
They are like a sponge, and they just love the repetitiveness as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my job is completely repetitive. Like, it's so repetitive that she's just
need to get Esther on those box jumps with me now.
That's what Nyla's on the second box. We've got the little boxes for like hip thrusts and that. And she will, when she used to come with, and when I had clients, she'd be like, can we box jump? And I had one client, Lisa, and she'd always make Lisa box jump. And I'm like, I'm sorry, that wasn't in your programme today, but are you going to say no to her?
Yeah.
And they'd love it. And like, it's just a joy for your kid to want to do something like that.
I do hope that Esther does enjoy exercise. I've always done some form of exercise, whether it be running. I did do short length tracks during high school, and then obviously dancing I did up until the age of 16, 17 or whatever, and then obviously now the gym. I'm really hoping that Esther's going to be an exercise focused person, and we are hoping to, now that she's a bit more independent and her routine's a bit more established, we're hoping to go back and climb some mountains. So
Amazing.
We're going to do try on some of those backpacks, where the kids sit on the shoulders. Yeah. So hoping to invest into a proper one of those for her and get back up to climbing Snowdon, Ben Nevis, do the 3 peaks.
But she won't see it as like exercise. She won't see it as that. She's just seeing it as something I can do with mum and dad. And that's amazing. Like Nyla doesn't see it as a chore.
No. And
she sees it as fun.
Yeah. And I think that's the best way to be, because you don't want it to be a chore. You do want them to enjoy it. And I do want it to be an outdoor bird, because I do love, going for walks myself. And we did do in maternity leave, spend a lot of time outside.
Yeah.
Just going for walks, because
there's not much else you can do.
Yeah. Staying in the house just drives you insane in the 4 walls. And there's only so much, singing you can do to a baby. So
filling
out we go.
Wake windows isn't impossible some days.
Yeah, and when they jumped from like 1 hour to 2 hours, you're like, what do I do
World's
now?
crashing around, yeah.
So yeah, I spent most of my maternity leave outside. Even if it was just for a coffee, just going out, walking around Cheshire Oaks, whatever, get a coffee, feed her, and just there's a
Keep
couple of
it
hours
sane.
gone. Yeah, yeah. I love the fresh air, and I hope that she does too.
Honestly, they take after you. So if you two are like that, that's what you'll be.
Yeah, I've always said to Craig as well, even if she has a really, really bad night, I don't want to be having days where we just like lounge about, do nothing, still, get up and still a routine, get up, get changed and fresh air.
I didn't realise how much I needed a routine until I had her.
Yeah.
And like now if I don't go to the gym at my set time, it massively messes up my day. Like mentally I struggle. So like,
and you're a morning bird as well, aren't you, with the gym?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the best time.
I have to go more like years ago I used to go morning and evening.
Oh.
I used to do like a morning class and then I'd go back in the evening and either do another class or like I'd go for a run or something. It's unheard of now. But I could. But now I couldn't think of anything worse. Like if I get up, go to the gym, come back here and Josh is still asleep. That is a dream.
Yeah.
So they don't even know I've left and they get all my dedicated time. And then Josh will come home from work, see us, eat dinner and then go when she's gone to bed. It's because we can do that and we'd rather have our time with her.
Absolutely.
But it's just impossible otherwise.
Yeah. I think we're going to start doing, now with a new job and obviously now no longer breastfeeding, I'm going to go back to my early bird time slot. So like Monday was a trial. So I was in the gym for like 5:10, I think it was.
Amazing.
Do a session. Craig will get little legs ready for nursery and then we'll just do a car swap outside the gym. So we'll do like a dodgy deal
with our child.
Yeah. Exchange a child in the car park and then get off to our obviously respective works. So that's hopefully what the routine will be like.
Got to find what works for you.
Yeah, because he likes training after work.
Yeah,
or
Josh
like
does.
Of an evening.
Josh will train after he's eaten tea, and that for me, I'm like, after tea, I'm written off.
Yeah.
I'm done for the day.
I'm ready to have
Get me a
PJs
bath
in
in
bed. Yeah. So no, I'm definitely a morning. I'd rather just get up and get it done, and then it's done. Then you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, because you know what? I love looking at my watch and like all my
having
rings,
the circles.
clothes.
Yeah,
and I know that's really, really sad.
Yeah,
but to me, that just like ticks something in my brain.
Yeah.
Scratches.
That's definitely either a female thing or a mum thing, having that
ticked off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because otherwise I just think all day, oh, how am I going to fit it in? Oh, I need to do it. Oh, someone's got to look after her. I've got to do it while she's in nursery. And then it's like the time schedule. Whereas if I get up in the morning, even if I get, like today, I got up a little bit later, I still got over an hour in the gym.
Yeah.
That's perfect. It's enough.
Whilst you're always thinking like, oh, what are we going to have for dinner? How long is it going to take in the oven? Have I got washing to do? It's crazy.
It's constant in your brain, isn't it?
Crazy.
The joys of motherhood.
Yeah, no, because no one else thinks about it.
You're telling me. I said to Josh the other day, he was looking for something that was like a pair of undies or something. And I said, when's the last time you did a wash? He went, the other day I washed my work clothes. I said, yeah, when's the last time you did like a clothes wash, not your work clothes? And he was like, I don't know, you do that? And I was like, yeah, you're lucky.
Yeah, see,
but I wouldn't let him do it either.
Yeah, see, Craig
because
just
I don't like the way he does it.
Craig just whacks it all in one wash. And I'm like, no,
that's what I do.
Oh,
but he'll, no, I just don't. He's like, which drawer does it go in again? And I'm like, you know what? Step aside and just leave me to it.
On a weekend, my utility room is like Lindsay's laundromat because I have piles of everything because it's got to be in specific piles. So you've got like your socks and undies, which go into a different wash. Then you've got your things.
Are you joking?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. But Craig will just whack it all in one wash.
I don't have the mental capacity for that.
And I'm like, no, because everything's got to be on different settings, different heat, different spins. Like, I can't just deal with whacking it in. And Craig said to me the other day, he was like, Lindsay, why have you got the dishwasher on a really weird time? And I was like, because the energy supplier has messaged me to say that I've entered a challenge. And if I shift my energy use to a certain time of the day, I get like cheaper electricity on a weekend. And I was
That's
like,
so good.
Yeah. And now
worth it.
Now that I've got an electric car, I mean, I can charge the car on a weekend and it'd be cheaper than it is during the week. So I was like, I will be shifting our electricity. So
these are the things that mums think of.
Yeah. Oh, and top cashback as well. Christmas is.
Oh, I haven't used that.
Have you not heard of top cashback? Oh, girl, right. If you do any online shopping, anything, always go through Top Cashback. So it is literally just topcashback.co.uk, I think it is, and set up an account, and whatever shop that you do online, go to Top Cashback first, search the shop, and then shop as you would normally, and then you get a percentage of what you've spent back. So,
oh my God.
just to give you an example, so obviously every year we do like car insurance, car breakdown, all that jazz. And let's just say that your insurance is, I don't know, £700 for the year. You then get whatever, if they've got a deal on, you might get a high percentage, but you'll get a certain percentage back. So like sometimes you'll get a specific amount of money or you get a percentage. So I think this year, when I changed to my SUV, I think I got something like £85 back.
That's all right.
Yeah. So it makes it either a little bit cheaper or you get money back that
You wouldn't have had.
you wouldn't have had anywhere. And then over the course of the year, so I think now I've got about £1,100 in the top cashback account.
That's all right.
Yeah. And then it just pays for Christmas or it pays for a holiday or,
Just
you know.
a little bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to wait a long time for it to come through. So like if it's the bigger the value of the purchase, the longer it takes to come in. So when we did like a renewal of the TV package that we have, that normally takes a long time because you've got to be in the package for like 6 months before you get the money.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
Otherwise, you just do it, cancel it, and then.
Yeah. And then so when Craig, buys all this stuff online, I'm like, did you go through Top Cashback? And he goes, no. But well, there's money that you've lost.
Yeah. Invest in it.
Yeah.
That's good for mums to know, actually.
It is.
Especially when you're in the depths of maternity pay.
Oh. Apparently it has gone up since I was on mat leave, but only by like maybe some pounds and pence.
Yeah.
But it's just
It's shocking.
It's still not enough.
The amount of times I looked at selling my feet.
Just your feet.
Didn't do it. Just selling some pics, but no, didn't do it.
Yeah. No, I was so grateful because unfortunately I'm in a job but I can't do overtime. I'm just salary based, and that's what you get is
Yeah,
what you
I
get.
was.
And I'm so grateful for Craig to have been able to do overtime and has the flexibility to do that because he was able to like make up my wage essentially and
that's amazing.
keep us both going. So I was able to take a full year off, which I'll forever be grateful for because I think maternity pay is like, 8-9 months, I think it is.
9 months you get.
9 months.
But obviously it depends. I started mine 2 weeks before she was due. So then if you go over, there's a month gone.
Yeah. I had to leave 2 weeks before my due date because there had been a previous person who'd gone home with a headache and then gave birth that afternoon. And then obviously they hadn't had the cover sorted. So it was policy then that you had to leave 2 weeks before your due date.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I would have gone until the day that I was due because I work next to the women's and I was giving birth in the women's. So
it's easier?
Yeah, exactly. It was a 6-minute walk in between contractions. So, we timed it as well. So, if I was contracting every other minute, I would have been able to get to the women's in like 6-10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Rather than, 45 minutes from my house to the women's. Yeah. So that was
What made you pick the women's?
So I'd had a previous surgery there. So back in 2014, I think it was, I had a bladder surgery there. So I had some of my bladder removed because I had a tumour. It wasn't cancerous or anything. But don't know why, but I was born with an abnormally large bladder, which made me have like recurrent UTIs.
Yeah.
So after being on medication after medication after medication, it wasn't fixing. I didn't want to be on antibiotics.
It's like plaster on it for a bit.
Yeah.
Basically.
So they had done it was kind of like, I don't know what the name of it is because, it's all complicated in medicine, but they essentially blew my bladder up to like a balloon and then did like a medicated sweep. So they're like pretty much cleaned all the gunk out. But then upon doing that, there was loads of scar tissue that had collected to make like a mass, and so I had to have that removed. So then now my bladder is the size of an average person, but obviously I had that done at the women's with it being gynecology. So I knew the care there, and I wasn't too fond of Chester, although that would have been the closest one because the whole thing of the midwife there was coming out in the news around the time that I was pregnant, and my partner hadn't had very good experiences with Arrow Park, although in hindsight we probably would go there next time in all honesty. So the women's, I was familiar with their care, familiar with the building, and if anything was to happen at work,
I
was literally right next door.
It's hard, isn't it?
But then obviously when it came to it and I went into labour at home, it was like a 45-minute drive. So poor
Thank
Craig.
God you had the time to get there.
Poor Craig driving, me contracting in the passenger seat, my mum in the
middle of
back.
the tunnel.
Yeah, in the middle of the tunnel. And do you know what? It was my worst fear because when Esther was due, it would have been Freshers Week. So I was thinking, oh my days, I'm going to get stuck in with all of these freshers who are going to be drunk on the road. I'm going to be contracting.
Yeah.
Craig's just wanting to get me to hospital. But luckily, I went into labour in the middle of the night, so it was dead. Because I just thought, if I hit rush hour traffic and I'm stuck in this Mersey tunnel, having contractions every other minute, I don't even know what Craig would do. I think he'd probably pass out. But I said this to the midwife, and the midwife was like, if it is, you know, touch and go and you feel as if you might need to push, or if you do leave it too late, go to the tunnel that's attended, tell them, and you'll get an escort through. So we did know that, but it wasn't needed because it was in the middle of the night. I think we went to hospital like 4:30 in the morning, so it wasn't needed. But I did think of all of those options when it happened, because I thought, sod's law, it'll be the town's booming, it'll be Freshers Week, you have all of these newbies that are drunk on the road or whatever, and
there's me trying to get through them all.
Yeah, and there's me contracting on the M53.
Yeah, stuck in the tunnel queue waiting to get through my hashtag.
Yeah, so luckily that did not
thankfully
be required.
That's good.
But I think next time, I think we'll probably go to Arrow Park.
I had Nala and Arrow, and I could not fault them.
Yeah.
If anything, they were absolutely incredible. Like,
I lost a clot on day 3. And I went to Arrow Park just as that was my go-to. Even at A&E, that's my go-to, Arrow Park, even though Chester's probably closer. And the care that I had there, because I was obviously a new mum, baby blues, you know, the hormone changes day 3. I was an absolute mess. But they dealt with me pretty much straight away, put me at ease.
Incredible.
And
we've had a lot of we've spent a lot of time up there as family, and the care we've received has just been amazing.
Yeah. And my midwives that I had at the doctors were all based at Arrow Park. And if I knew that I would have had, I think her name was Rosie, shout out.
Is she blonde?
Yes.
I went to school there, I think, if it's the same one.
Oh my days. She was the best midwife that I had at my doctor's. So she saw me right the way through, and she was absolutely amazing. And if I knew that I would be guaranteed her for delivery, I would have done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have loved a home birth, to be honest.
Would you think of that if you were to have another, or not?
No. I mean, I know it wasn't going to be appropriate first time round because I'd just had my gallbladder surgery, and the tube that was attached to my gallbladder is only stapled shut. So they wouldn't have allowed me to go too far overdue because they didn't know how much healed I was inside, because I got pregnant obviously quite soon after having the surgery. And I think that because the inside's obviously unknown, I was pregnant, they can't really do any investigations to what was like inside. It wasn't worth the risk. And because of what happened in labour, Esther turned back to back. And they were getting ready to do assisted delivery with her, and my contractions, they were coming and going, and they'd really slowed down, and they were getting ready to do, I think it was Fontus they were getting ready to do. If I hadn't pushed her out when I did, they would have had to do that. And I think if that was to, happen again, I'd probably end up in hospital anyway. So I think
take that risk out.
Yeah, it was a long labour, but a very, very, very quick delivery. There was also meconium in the water as well. So you just think of all of these things that could happen. And I think to put Craig at ease, because it's trauma for the partners. And
it must be hard to watch something like that.
Yeah, so my mum and Craig were obviously my birthing partners, and my mum videoed my whole labour and my whole delivery, so I've got it on video. And when I look back at it sometimes, when I'm just feeling really nostalgic, I can see the look on Craig's face where he's like...
the trauma.
Yeah, because I didn't realise that Esther didn't actually come out crying, so Craig's face went really, really white because she'd come out
with no noise.
With no noise. But to me, she came out purple, which is normal, but that was worrying for Craig. So he was like in a moment of being quite scared, I think.
But not wanting to let you know.
Yes. Yeah. And then he unfortunately saw my placenta come out as well because of where he was dealing with the baby. So we'd had asking to skin and stuff, and then the baby was passed to Craig to put on the first nappy and clothes or whatever, and give her some... colostrum.
Yeah.
And my placenta came out at the at that time, and he was
lovely
like,
for him.
yeah, I think he got quite the shock of his life. I'm surprised he stayed on 2 legs.
Well, we did a full show and tell. The midwife was holding mine up. I was like, Josh, give me my phone. Let me
I
take.
took mine home.
Well, she was like to me, this is massive. And I was like, let me see.
It was huge.
She was like really impressed with it. So I was like, Josh, give me the phone. I want to take a picture of this.
Yeah.
I don't know why, 'cause I don't know what I'm looking at. But hey ho.
Yeah, I took mine home, and I actually planted it in a myrtle tree. So Esther's because Esther, when we Googled the name, our names that we'd chosen, and we looked at additional meanings, Esther was linked with a star, and star is also linked with myrtle, and both
gorgeous.
No, both Craig and my mum both said that I sounded like Morning Myrtle from Harry Potter whilst I was in labour. So I was like, Esther it is. But then
That's who she is.
yeah, and then you can also get a myrtle tree. So she's now got a myrtle tree in like a big wooden.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, with my placenta in the bottom. So the placenta.
It's meant to be incredible, isn't it? For the soil.
Well, because people have said to me, would you turn it into pills and stuff? And like, I'd done some research.
I did debate that.
Yeah, I'd done some research, and there's not actually that much in regards to nutritional value.
It was also a lot of work.
Oh, and it's so expensive. Like
And brain power.
You had to get like a courier to be at the hospital whilst you were in labour.
Within so many hours, wasn't
so that they could take it while it was like fresh and then do whatever. But they add loads of stuff in, so you just don't know
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? So now Esther's got a tree that she can grow with, and it's grown with her as she's growing, and it's just really
get
cute.
a picture of her with it all the time.
No, but I did do a picture when I planted it, and I've got a picture from when it was a year old. So you can see the difference in the growth, which is really, really cute.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So you'll have to keep us updated on the
growth of
the
myrtle.
growth of myrtle. I love it. And thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, you're welcome.
I hope you've enjoyed it.
Thank you. Oh God, I feel like we could go for like ages.
No,
like,
no.
It's like
I
a
have to
therapy session, this. I love it.
Stop us. But no, it was really lovely to have you on and obviously learn a lot more about you.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll stay with us for
absolutely.
as long as possible.
And for number 2, if and when.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe we could be pregnant together.
Don't even tempt me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.